Hi, this is going to be a fun video on how to go about using Google Slides for storytelling, digital storytelling. And this idea was kind of inspired by listening to a podcast from the Google Teacher Tribe, the Tell Me a Story with G Suite from Matt Miller and Casey Bell. And I was thinking a little bit about some of the updates that have happened. Some of my more popular posts as of late have been about the new features with Autoplay in Google Slides. And so I'm going to talk about how you can utilize that. But first, I need to have a story. So if you're a student watching this, first you need to make a story, and you can make that all within Google Slides. So I'm going to get ready and do that right now. Okay, now I have my story all built, and now it's time to go through the process of how do you record this and make it effective with the new autoplay options. So I'm going to use Screencastify to make my recordings, and then I'm going to take each one and put it into this story. So I'm going to go ahead and make those recordings right now. Now, to do that, what I think works best is if you use the keyboard commands Alt-Shift-R to start and stop your recordings. And you're going to record every single slide separately. And for this, I think I'm going to do just a tab recording. There's no need to do the entire screen. So I'll do select, make sure that that's on the correct microphone. So I have my Screencastify ready. I'm going to hit Alt-Shift-R to launch it. It'll start recording, and I'm going to do that for every single slide and then stop.
3, 2, 1.
This is Lance's story, and it is inspired by the Google Teacher Tribe podcast with Matt Miller and Casey Bell. Okay, and so that one is recording and it's saving on my drive. And it'll probably pop up with a tab. And so what I'll need to do
is Lance's story.
Is pause that. And I'm going to go ahead and name this one. I'm going to name it Story 1. Come back to it later. I'll use it later. Okay, I'm going to launch this next clip. In this next clip, I'm going to use a sound effect that I had downloaded from the YouTube audio library. I'm going to use an alarm clock sound. Here we go. Alt-Shift-R.
3, 2, 1.
It was June 7th, 2017. I woke up extremely early in the morning to go to the Ignite conference in Lafayette, Indiana. What an exciting day Lance had in store. And I hit Alt-Shift-R to stop it. It's June 7th, 2017. Okay, I'm going to take this one. I'm going to name it Story 2. I'll close out of this window. I'll come back to those later. I'm going to do each one. Okay, now that I have all my Screencastify videos done and they're all stored in my Google Drive folder, now what I can start doing is putting in these videos. And keep in mind, if you have any mistakes, you can always go back and you can trim these. You don't have to do a separate video editor because you can do it actually directly here in Google Slides. So here's the pattern. You go to Insert, Video, and you will find your videos there. You select your video that you want. When you get it inserted, then what you'll need to do is you'll need to shrink it down really, really small, because you don't really necessarily want to see it. Put it down there at the bottom corner like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Video Options. And this is where you can trim it. If I hit play, I can listen to it. This is Lance's story. And this story is inspired thanks to Matt Miller and Casey Bell. Now, if you hear that little bit there, you can actually hear that it actually dinged. I had my phone on right at that point. So I'm going to find out what second it was on. I think it was at 8 seconds. So it was a little before 8. Let's try it at 7. Bell. And let's see what seconds those are. I'm going to move this to 8 seconds. And now let's play it. This is Lance's story. And this story is inspired thanks to Matt Miller and Casey Bell. Okay, and so it took off my little ding there at the end because of my phone going off. You need to make sure you turn on autoplay. So you're going to do that with every single slide. So you go to the second slide, you'll insert your video, select your video, shrink it real small, move it to the corner, trim it if you need to, so you'll want to listen to it, and turn on autoplay. And then you'll do that with every single one. Okay, so now we're ready to actually listen to it. So I have all my videos in. Now when I hit present, it's going to autoplay through each one, and you can see it in all its glory. Here we go. This is Lance's story, and this story is inspired thanks to Matt Miller and Casey Bell. It was June 7th, 2017. I woke up extremely early in the morning to go to the Ignite conference in Lafayette, Indiana. What an exciting day Lance had in store. To stay alert and make the most of his time, he listened to the Google Teacher Tribe podcast by Matt Miller and Casey Bell. Lance was so excited because he loves fun and creative ideas on how to use technology in the classroom. They were chatting about digital storytelling. This gave Lance an idea. Lately, he has had a lot of people that have enjoyed his ideas on using the autoplay feature in Google Slides. Wouldn't Google Slides make a great medium for publishing writing or retelling a story? Google Slides has so many great options. Students can insert images, use all kinds of fonts, colors, and shapes. Think of all the great animations that would really make the story come alive. With that thought, Lance got busy. He pulled out his Chromebook and started writing his story. What story will you write? And as a side note, as I was going through each of those slides, to transition between each slide, I just hit the arrow. You could publish it actually if you wanted to, but I decided to just run it through the presentation mode and use the arrows to switch between each slide. Okay, so give me your feedback. Send some examples my way. If you have students try this, I want to see them. So please send them out via Twitter, tag me in your tweet, and show me what your students are doing.